Hey everybody, welcome to MetaFan. I'm Aaron. Did you know that in the last 4 years, the sales of board games have gone up by about 40%? There's thousands of new titles that are released every year, and the biggest titles sell millions of copies. And so that brings thousands more fans to board gaming all the time. And in response, there's places like this that are opening up because people ask themselves, how do I go about learning these board games? And there are board game cafes that are popping up all over the country. And I'm here in St. Louis at one. The place is called Pieces, and I'm here with the owners, Jim and Laura. And thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
And my first question for you is, I've never been to a board game cafe before, so what am I going to experience if I come here?
750 board games. And then when you walk in, you get seated at a table, depending upon how many players you have. Or if you want to play a really large game, you can be sat at a really large table, even though you're only 2 players. And we have game navigators here. And the game navigators, we collectively know 90% of the entire library. So if you come in and you want to play a more complicated game because you're a more experienced gamer, but you don't want to read the 70 pages of rules, we can sit with you, teach you the entire game. Or if you're new to gaming and you only have experience with, say, Scrabble or Monopoly, we can teach you similar games that are newer for your family to enjoy. So that's what you would expect. And then we have a full bar and a full restaurant.
So we've got a little game set up starting here. What is this game?
So this game is called Karuba. It's a really interesting game because you're playing sort of like Indiana Jones type explorers who are trying to get their explorers over to these temples. And each player has the same options over the course of the game. I'm the navigator, so what I'm going to be doing is flipping over tiles, and we're going to lay them to create a path to get our explorers over to these temples. And the neat thing about this game is everybody has the same choices, but everyone seems to play the game a little bit differently the whole way. So you're trying to maximize your efficiency in how to get these explorers over the temples. And you're going to collect gems along the way, and the first players to get to the temples will get more points based on who got there first by collecting these artifacts.
One of the things that I've noticed as I've played some modern board games is a lot of them seem like, there seems to be one overarching characteristic, is they seem like they take a long time. So my question to you is, what kinds of games are there broadly? What are the categories?
Well, what's really interesting is we hire such a diverse staff who likes different types of board games. So we'll have one staff member that really likes bluffing games, for instance, where you're just trying to fool each other, and it's usually a social deduction game to figure out who's who. We have other people who like those heavy games that you're talking about that take 3-4 hours, sometimes 5 hours to play. And then we also have games that are just roll for your luck. It doesn't take much strategy, a lot of dice games, but we have on our website a category for every single game, so it fits into all the different categories.
And if you take a look around, the games in this section have green dots, we have yellow dots and red dots. You have a good visual. This game's going to take a long time. They're down there. We noticed that these are typically more colorful, and then they get more drab and serious by the time you get down there. So you know what you're getting into. It's going to be a 3 to 6 hour drag out. But a lot of these games can be played in easily 20-30 minutes. We have a lot of games that are great for 2 players, and even some solo games. So we have a lot of first dates come in here, and we're able to hook them up with a nice casual game.
And then over to the right of us are 2 shelves of party games, which are just social deduction, light, fun, the kind of game you can drink heavily and you don't have to think much.
Excellent.
And then we have 2 shelves of all tabletop games designed in St. Louis.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So I guess that the local gaming community probably finds itself a home here.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're some of our greatest friends now.
What kinds of people do you see come in? Is there a central demographic?
No. That's what's so great, I think, about our concept is that we're all ages. So we're unique that people find it very strange that we're an under 21 bar. So you could we have high chairs, you could bring your infant, you could bring your 3-year-old, you could bring your 4-year-old. We have a section just for kids games over to the right of me.
Yeah, in fact, once a month we do a family day where we actually have a balloon artist come in and twist up really elaborate balloon art for the kids so they can come in, get brunch, get balloons, and have a good time with their family.
So what made you decide to put this place here? Why did you open a board game cafe?
The truth is, I used to be a lawyer. It wasn't fun. So I always loved gaming, and I thought I would just bring this to St. Louis. I just thought it would be fun to start this.
Yeah, and I've been gaming pretty much my entire life. From 5 years old up, I always used to follow my brothers to the local friendly game stores. play Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons, and so it's been kind of a big part of who I am my whole life. So to be able to open a place that people can come and play games has always been kind of a dream of mine.
Today I go out with friends, and if I have younger friends, they're always on their phone or they're snapping or they're on Instagram, and I wanted to create a space where people could actually put down their phones and socialize and look at each other and really get to know each other.
Have you found that it's created communities that you didn't expect?
Absolutely.
So once a month we actually have the St. Louis board game meetup group come in here. It's a fantastic group. They come in the third Tuesday of every month.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's been great. We've got a lot of nonprofits who've started coming here on a regular basis and setting up at our bar.
The funnest thing we do is corporate team building events. We spend a lot of our days with corporations all around St. Louis doing team building. And so corporations come in and we teach them new games, they get to know each other, they ice break, and so it created this almost corporate culture now of board gamers, and they keep coming back.
Do you have a favorite moment? Have you seen anything happen that you thought, this is exactly why we did this?
3 weeks into opening, I was standing up at the host stand, and it was a Friday night, and this middle-aged woman came up to me and she said, "I heard you were the owner." I said, "Yes." And she said, "You know, I have to tell you, I have not hung out with my 19 and 21-year-old sons, like actually hung out with them in years. So thank you for opening this place." And we got to talking, and she's like, they didn't take out their phone once. They didn't text their girlfriends, they didn't snap, and that was really special. And now they come back every other week as a family. And I really love that.
Just in general, on our busiest nights, just walking around and just seeing everybody laughing and having a good time. It's just not one particular moment, but just seeing the community building and seeing how much fun everybody's having is probably my favorite part about running this place.
What are the most popular games here? Do you have games that get played all the time?
Life.
Yeah.
Life, really?
Life. We've
I was going to
replaced
make a
that.
joke about Life,
Yeah.
but there we go. All right.
No, we've replaced it 8 times because little people become missing a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Cards Against Humanity, of course. And then the St. Louis games get touched a lot because when people see all these games developed in St. Louis, they don't realize there's so many developers in the area, and they always want to pull it out and see what's going on.
And so, one last thing, and then we can maybe check this out. Is gaming an important thing for people to engage in your opinion?
I think historically, it's one thing that's never really gone away. I mean, they have archaeological digs of board games from 3,000 plus years ago.
I mean, chess even,
Yeah,
and ancient versions.
Go
of
and all these ancient
checkers.
games.
Yeah,
It's one of the most timeless parts of human society, I think.
I don't think it'll ever go away. And I think that the industry is just going to keep booming.
Why is it booming? I mean, what do you think that is?
Technology. I think people love technology,
Yeah.
but sometimes they don't realize how much they hate it until they find something to do that distracts them. And I think we provide that distraction. And I love when I walk through the dining room and I see phones flipped upside down instead of forward. This allows you to do that. When you're in a bar and you just don't have some sort of activity, you're more inclined to stick to technology.
And it's funny we have Catan on the table here. There's been something of a renaissance, I'd say, within the last 10 to 20 years in the board game industry. I think it's sort of like the craft beer renaissance, and that more and more people started to realize, like, hey, this is a cool thing. I can be a part of this. I can actually take a game idea I have and make it. And technology is a part of that too. I mean, people are able to collaborate from greater distances and work together. And Kickstarter has been great. Just the amount of ways people have been able to come up with new ideas astounds us. Like we have, like you said, over 700 games, but there's consistently new games with new concepts, and it's incredible how people are able to come up with new ideas with so much stuff already out there.
Going to that, it's so cool to meet the local board game designers and see their concepts and prototypes. I mean, they bring them in. We have prototype nights, and it's just little cardboard pieces. And then a year later, they come back with the actual game in the actual box, and to see it conceptualized like that, and see them making thousands of dollars on Kickstarter because they had a great idea. It's just so awesome to see it.
How do people find out more about Pieces?
Our website, stlpieces.com. And also, if you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, we always post all of our events.
Awesome. Well, then we will definitely put links to all those things down in the description for this video. Make sure that you like MetaFan on Facebook. Make sure you follow us on YouTube and subscribe. And thank you both very much for letting us come out.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and try this out.
Cool.
All right. So I'm the exploration leader here.